Well, hi everyone. I'm John Redland, back with a review of WWE NXT, and well, we're done with the Ciampa Gargano storyline, thank fucking Christ, but they had to show us recaps of it because apparently giving them the last hour last week simply wasn't enough. We had to endure that again. I didn't care for that match, just in case you don't know. I didn't care for it. I know some people did, and I'm not saying it was necessarily a badly worked match. It was just boring, and thank fucking Christ we are done. So what else did the show had? You had Tom Phillips carrying Byron Saxton on commentary. Byron isn't bad in some instances. When he called Kofi's title win at Mania 35, he was fine. And a couple other times he's been okay, but Byron just wasn't that good tonight. Like, Tom really had to carry the goddamn show. So we have Finn Balor and Fabian Eichner in a match, and Marcel Bartel was there because we have Finn Balor and the Imperium storyline still going, despite the fact that TakeOver Dublin has been delayed till at least October of this year, and we'll see where all that stuff's going. I do want to say one thing really quickly before I get into this match, though, that I hope all the talents that are having to travel and do these live shows stay safe, stay sound. This goes for the staff, this goes for all of you watching. Whether you're working or staying at home, I hope you guys stay safe, and we're all going to ride this out, and we're going to get through it. So how was this match? Well, they're trying to extend this program with Balor and Walter, and because of the travel restrictions, we can't really have this capitalized on right now. Now, was it a bad match? No, this is actually a pretty good match. You had Balor constantly fingering the camera with his little finger gun stuff. There was some good wrestling, the numbers game, because I guess Balor is a de facto face here, even though he's much more heelish. We get, Eichner doing really good work, doing the one arm, like, pick up and everything, throw down. We had Sling Blade outside, Bartel hitting his head pretty damn hard. He drop kicks him, Balor drop kicks him through the barricade. Well, knocking the barricade down, not through the barricade, that would have been kind of vicious. We get a coup de grace and the Bloody Sunday. I'm calling it the Bloody Sunday because that's just a better name. And 1, 2, 3. Certainly not a bad match. Fine opener. And Balor still fingering the camera right there. And then we get recaps of Tegan and Dakota and then Charlotte and Rhea. And we have a Charlotte promo where it's Tate backstage. If you can't make Charlotte cut a decent promo and make her cut one, it doesn't sound like she's a goddamn mannequin, even on a pre-tape. Stop having Charlotte fucking talk. Sweet Christ, she bores me to goddamn tears, and she ain't gonna do shit for the NXT Championship or the NXT Women's Championship in 2020. She talked about, it's the same stuff, the same fucking shit. She said she tapped out all the 4 horsewomen, so she tapped out herself. That's not how that fucking works. Typical stuff. Oh, I'm better than everybody. Woo! All that and everything, and Mutual Mind, Catwoman 13 actually did a really good reaction video impersonating her promo, and it was actually really, really good. So she's tapped out a lot of the horsewomen. She's talking about Io Shirai and others, and she's had her eye on Mia Yim, that Mia Yim gave Charlotte her first match in NXT. Okay, cool. So we're going to get Mia Yim versus Charlotte. You don't need to extend this damn thing. Have Io beat her. Like, have Io beat her quickly and put it on a woman that deserves it. Because Charlotte doesn't deserve it in 2020. So, of course, she did say, the close the whole thing, there is no doubt that Charlotte Flair is the greatest of all time, past, present, and future. Charlotte isn't even the greatest woman, isn't even in the top 5 of women in WWE, across NXT, them including NXT UK, Raw, and SmackDown. And I will stand by that. If people like her, that's fine. I don't. So, quickly, Aaliyah versus Xia Li. This is based off of all the stuff where Xia was attacked backstage. Aaliyah took credit for it. Aaliyah had her nose busted open months before that. And it was really quick because Xia Li won. Aaliyah plays her role as a jobber fine, but for somebody that has been in NXT for a while, I don't understand why she still feels like very, very low card. Is it just because they keep changing her gimmick and they keep changing her theme? I have no idea, but Xia Li won. Also, quickly, if you guys are going to be if you're any of the ones wishing or happy that anybody got released, fuck you guys, that's all I'm going to say. You can understand that releases are going to happen, but let's not be celebrating no matter whether you like the character or like the wrestler. Let's just keep that to the side. It's a tough thing. A lot of people are losing their jobs. Yes, they're getting paid for like 30 days, maybe even 60 days, depending, but let's not cheer for people losing their jobs. Let's just not do that. So, interim NXT Cruiserweight Championship Tournament announced because Devlin cannot travel and he's the current champion. Group A, Kushida, Tony Nese, Maverick, and Atlas. Drake Maverick featured in this tournament field and has his match next week, and he was one of the talents that got released. That's a bit of a dick move right there. I mean, hey, if he's getting a chance to, get paid and still show what he can do, fine, okay, but I think that's really, really fucking stupid that they do that and they don't just replace him in the tournament. I don't know. That just doesn't set well with me. But Group B is Swerve, Gallagher, Tozawa, and El Hijo del Fantasma, who is King Cuerno and Lucha Underground. So, round robin style, whoever has the most points in Group A and Group B face off, and if there's a tiebreaker, they do all this stuff, Matt talking to Pete Dunne. Who's his tag team partner? Because Pete Dunne can't travel because of all travel restrictions. Swerve versus Tozawa. Tozawa is called a stamina master. Great. Cool. Okay, that's just what I wanted to picture, but if you want to picture that, cool. How was the match? Flippy shit with some good wrestling. And Tozawa is much more heelish here. Swerve, quite goddamn good. Very goddamn good. I've seen him live multiple times. Thought he was going to get the victory after he and the house call, but nope. We get a big kick and the senton. 1, 2, 3. It was well worked, and Tozawa said he will be champion again. Got to keep fighting. Okay, quick and to the point. Vignette on El Hijo del Fantasma. I'm going to screw that up a lot. I'm just going to call him Phantasma. That's what I'm going to call him. Not Phantasm, not one of those movies. But it talks about, his history. Cool. All right, good stuff. And then we get Tegan Nox versus Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai. Raquel Gonzalez needs some more seasoning. She's a good, tall woman, good monster, but just this wasn't very good. And it was also with a whole lot of smoke and mirrors because you had Dakota interfering, and then Shotzi came out here with the helmet, and then the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, the surprise roll-up, and Tegan Nox gets the victory. And then Keith Lee talked about the rough time that he had growing up, and he found a love for wrestling from age 5, thanks to his grandmother. Randy Savage influenced him. His parents didn't want to pursue wrestling. He went to a wrestling show, worked with Mick Foley, and actually what ended up happening is he ended up homeless for a bit. Had to work really, really hard, 13 years, and then even showed a clip of Foley saying, I don't know how he does this stuff, but my God, he's really, really good. And that was some good stuff. I have more stuff like this to supplement the, the time while these empty arena shows are going. Dexter Lumis, who doesn't blink. How the fuck does he not blink? It's fucking frightening. Versus Tahuti Miles, and he beats him quickly. Watch the hair, says the bald ref, but he beats him with the Anaconda Vice. Good. And Dexter Lumis, not the last appearance that he has. Adam Cole says Velveteen Dream doesn't deserve a shot at the NXT Championship, and Velveteen coming out to a podium that's just there. He was backstage all this time waiting on his couch. And I don't know why there was a podium. He's talking about how, Cole's dodging him and everything. Here's Finn. Because Velveteen had mentioned about the NXT Championship and how Cole's the greatest champion ever. Oh no. The greatest champion of all time, greatest NXT champion of all time is Finn Balor. And he says, I don't know you, I don't like you. And maybe let's have a date with the Prince. Be careful you get a date with the Prince. And Velveteen says, why not next week? So I guess we're going to have a match next week. Malcolm Bivens with Sarif and Rinku. I like managers. I don't get Malcolm Bivens. I don't want to get him. I mean, he's a fine talker, but I just don't care. And he mentions the 1.3 billion people in India. Please don't do this again. We don't need another Jinder Mahal. Sweet Christ, we don't need that. We didn't even need Jinder Mahal as WWE champion. So yeah, the Cruiserweight tourney matches next week. Drake and Atlas, Phantasma and Gallagher, Nese and Kushida. If they let Drake actually get some wins, fine, I'm cool with it. But they released him. It's fucking ridiculous. Whatever. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll decide to keep him if he has good performances. I have no goddamn idea. Had a really emotional, video there for his release. I mean, really, really emotional stuff. And then Shotzi and Tegan versus Dakota and Gonzalez. Cool. That's going to happen next week. We get Strong and Fish versus Riddle and the debuting Timothy Thatcher. If you're unfamiliar with him, and I have only seen a little bit of his stuff, really, really goddamn good. Great striker and great submission wrestler. NXT Tag Team Championship match is good stuff. Some good heel work by the Undisputed Era. Loomis was just there, standing, looking. with light shining on him. I don't get the fucking point. Is he going to attack Riddle? Is he going to go after the Undisputed Era? Is he going to turn babyface? Is he going to blink at any goddamn point? These are the questions we need to know. In the end, Thatcher, showing that he was quite good, got the Fujiwara armbar at the end and tapped out Roderick Strong. And then we had Byron talk about, insert Timothy Thatcher and insert, retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. I mean, if you want to insert Timothy Thatcher, Byron, I'm not going to kink shame you. Just maybe don't put your kinks on live cable TV. So, we have Ciampa saying he's done with Gargano, he's done with Candice, that we said we were done. And then NXT's doing snuff films because suddenly somebody grabs him from behind and starts choking him out and beats him up. And it's Killer Cross or Karrion Kross because he's dead flesh, I guess, or whatever. I met Killer Kross at an indie show last year, really nice guy. So, okay, cool, he's going to work with Ciampa, and you got Scarlett there with the leather boots and all that. So, that's NXT right there. NXT was fine. It was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine, and that was a fine hook. That was actually a pretty good hook at the end. It didn't scare me because I watched too many horror movies, but that's my opinions. What are your opinions? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.